Katy Perry, y'all. We know her as one of the greatest female pop artists of the 2010s. You know, with big hits like The One That Got Away, Teenage Dream, E.T., you know, just the entire Teenage Dream album. You could say that whole thing was a masterpiece of just straight pop hits. But what really happened? Where did Katy Perry's career go wrong and we ended up with this piece of shit? Where did we go wrong? Well, I'm here to break it down for you. It all started in 2017. You know, Katy Perry's over here. Taylor Swift's over here in her Reputation era. You know, you got all that crap. Rap's damn near in its peak right now for the 2010s. You know, everything is going well. And then, you know, Katy Perry drops this. What the fuck is this supposed to be, first off? And then you actually, you know, go and listen to the tracks and you realize, wow, I love Katy Perry's last album, Prism, was so good. But that was 3 years ago, y'all. This is 2017. She drops this. The single is titled Bon Appetit Bébé with the Migos. She's over here in a bathtub, it looks like, getting food poured on her, going like, Bon Appetit Bébé. Like, brother, after I heard that song, I was like, man, I got no hope for this album. And I was pretty right. That album was pretty bad. It had a couple saving songs on there, like, you know, Chained to the Rhythm and yeah, I can't really name it anymore. I didn't do too much research going into this. I just did more of, well, when I say I didn't do too much research, I mean I didn't do too much research like re-looking back into the songs. I did more of like, you know, stats and analytics. You know, if I'm saying like an album is bad, you know, in her discography that you like, then you're probably nuts and everyone hates you. But we'll move on. After that horrendous flop of an album from 2017's Katy Perry, and you know what? Backtrack a second. You know what? Well, you know what the other single on that album was? Swish Swish. This was to get back at Taylor Swift, and guess what? It fucking failed, bro. Bro, the Taylor Swift decided, you know what? No, I gotta play the good girl. I gotta drop Look What You Made Me Do and this entire comeback album and just destroy the media. Katy Perry, you dropped a horrible album, dropped a diss track, and then got smoked even harder. You know, that was already bad enough for her in 2017. Complete flop of an album. It's like, how do you recover from this? You just got dissed by arguably the biggest, one of, if not the biggest artist at the time. So, you know, Katy Perry decides, you know what? I gotta just stop for a bit, you know, just wait a little. So, you know, she does, you know, Katy Perry things, whatever. Fucking idiot, dude. Sorry about that. I will edit that out in the long form. A semi just almost ran me off the road completely. Almost hit a tree there. Back to what I was saying, though. You know, Katy Perry goes on her little hiatus of 3 years and, you know, just waits. And then she drops another album. And now I will say this. I could not tell you what the album was called. I'll put it up here on screen for you. I just know it's her, like, kind of like posed, like laying down, facing forward, dressed like a clown. Because her music was pretty bad at that time. Recently, you know, the whole 2017 trash to the we're moving here now. I will say this. This album is better. I don't think this is really that bad of an album in her discography per se. But the problem, this album is so forgettable. It's so forgettable to the point of I can't even tell you the name of it. That's just how it is. It's not a bad album, you know, you got stuff like Never Really Over, correct me if I'm wrong. That might be 27. I thought it was 2020 that came off of. Yeah, like Never Really Over, 365. You know, a little generic pop, but it's better than the trash pop she had in the previous years. And now, you know, after the unsuccessful success of that album, we finally get to the good part of this video. Look, I know you've been waiting this whole 5 minutes of like, Luke, get to the album we've been waiting for. It's on the thumbnail of her naked in space, okay? All right, y'all. All right. Now, we're going to get to my favorite here. God, look at this album cover. What the fuck is this supposed to be, bro? Is this her getting possessed by the Stranger Things Demogorgon? Like, was it deciding, you know what, I'm hungry, I want some Katy Perry, let me go take her soul away? Bitch, she's like 40 at this time, or 40, somewhere in her 40s, man, on tour with Rebecca Black, and you're telling me you want her? Seriously? Now, diving into this album, when I initially heard, you know, hey, Katy Perry's dropping a new album in 2024, I thought, you know what, her last two kind of bombed and blew, but I have hope for this one. And then I saw the album cover. I thought, okay, you know, maybe it won't be that bad. And then I heard Woman's World, the first single. I thought, we're so fucked. I thought we were so fucked. And then I heard the second single with Doechii. I'm his, he's mine. Now, let me state for the record, I think Doechii's a horrible artist who has no good songs. I'm just going to say that flat out. This song does not do... that song does not help anyone against her against me in this case, saying, no, Doechii's got good music, man. Really? I want you to listen to that feature. I can't play it due to copyright. Listen to that song and that feature, and you're going to tell me that that's good? Are you going to? You can't look at me with a straight face and say it is, because you know it's not. And then you get to the third single, or sorry, I'm His, He's Mine's the third single. The second single is Lifetimes, which it's not the worst thing on this album. It's not good, it's just very generic and bland and pretty trash. But you know what? Let's just get into it right here. The three singles I mentioned, trash. Horrible features, horrible writing by Katy Perry. I don't know, especially with Women's World and I'm His, He's Mine, I don't know what she was thinking. You watch the music video to those, and like woman goes like, sexy, confident, and it's just her blowing herself up like, bro, I'm not trying to watch her boobs inflate on my screen. That is not what I came to see Katy Perry for. If I wanted to see that, I'd be watching Roar. But, no, we're 10, 11 years past that now. And then you get to the whole album as it is, you know, the whole spiel. With, like, Crush, Nirvana, Lifetimes, Wonder, all of these songs that just sound generic. Gimme Gimme's another good one to say for this list. You're listening to this album and you're thinking, Katy Perry, what are you doing? Like, what? Like, what? Those singles, none of the songs on there I would genuinely say are good. Wonder's the only exception as being like, you know, decent-ish, really. But, really, that's kind of saying something for that bad of an album. Oh, but Luke, 21 Savage and Jid were on there, man. They had great features. Every feature on that album, there's 4 of them, I believe. It was Doechii, Kim Petras, 21, and Jid. Doechii was over here like, meh, 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 you know, going whatever she was doing on that song. Kim Petras was doing what she was doing on the song Unholy by Sam Smith and going like, gimme, 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 you know, stuff like that. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to hear this from an off-brand, semi-one-hit wonder that no one has ever listened to outside of one song. Then you get the 21's part of just 21, 21, 21, 21, 21. You know, him doing 21 things, 21 questions, I guess, because I'm asking that to him. 21 questions. Why are you on this album? Why do you say 21 a lot? Why the hell is your name 21 Savage if you're British? And then you get to Jid's part, and he's like, look, I like Jid, okay? Do not get me wrong. I think he's a phenomenal rapper with a great future. No one on this album does good, y'all. I'm sorry. I just can't give anyone the nod of being like, yeah, I would go back to this song and listen to Jid, you know, or 21. I can't do it. The album's too bad for me to genuinely care. And then you get the, you know, Katy Perry's whole recent shenanigans of being up in space from Amazon. I don't know why Amazon's got a space company. I guess Jeff Bezos wants to be like Elon Musk, but you know, gets her whole space thingy. She's up in space. Yeah, you know, she made a song, E.T., you know, Kiss Me in Space and all that, because she kissed a girl. And then she lands. She was up there for 10 fucking minutes, and she's over kissing the ground like, oh my God, I love you so much. I've missed you. You've been gone for 10 minutes. What do you miss? Honestly, maybe she should have just stayed in space. Because then she would not make another album. Or she, you know, wouldn't be on tour right now with Rebecca Black. Do you know who Rebecca Black is? You probably don't because you're too young watching this, but I know who Rebecca Black is. She's the girl that made that one song that goes, Friday, Friday, it's Friday, Friday. You know, she does that. If you enjoyed this video about me just dissing Katy Perry and talking about her fall off, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below if I should do more of these. I think I'm going to. Next up, I don't know, Drake. Anyway, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.